Hello guys, my name is Colin and this is Colin Talks Crypto. In this episode, we're going to touch upon all sorts of different stuff. Bitcoin has just broken past $54,000. We're going to talk about Bitcoin fees, Bitcoin transaction volume, comparing it with Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum. We're going to talk about fees on the Ethereum network, and we're just going to do a lot of metric comparisons. Thank you for joining me. All right, and first up on your screen, we have the Google Trends search term for Bitcoin. And historically, whenever we get near that peak, the trend goes parabolic very rapidly right at the end. And so right now it's interesting. It almost looks like we're forming a wedge pattern here. We're currently at 31 out of a total arbitrary 100 on this chart. Now it's 31 in relation to the last peak. Keep that in mind. This is not 31 in relation to the upcoming peak, which most likely is going to push this graph all the way down, and the new peak will become the new top of the chart. And when that happens, it's likely that this 31 will come down here and be like 10 or 12 or something like that. So even though it looks like we're halfway to the previous all-time high, this was the $20,000 price peak and the search term associated with it, we're actually not that high in relation to the upcoming peak, which will be somewhere up here. So I would say if we were on the previous bull run right now, it would look like we're somewhere in this range right here. So it looks like we might go sideways here for a while before we begin our upward surge. And so we're not as close as it may seem. You may think, hey, we're almost approaching that peak, but keep in mind that is the last bull run's peak. All right, moving along to a cool site. This is 8marketcap.com. The 8 stands for infinity. So this is infinitymarketcap.com. And it lists all different assets, including precious metals and cryptocurrencies. And so I just like to keep it in perspective globally where we stand with Bitcoin today. And Bitcoin is number 8 on this chart. 8th place. I remember when I was doing some videos just a couple months ago and Bitcoin was ranked like 23rd. Now we're 8th place. This has climbed tremendously. And so we are approaching the market cap of Google itself, 1.3 trillion, and Bitcoin is just over $1 trillion market cap. And the next incumbent will be silver to overtake, $1.4 trillion. And to overtake the number 1 spot on this chart of all assets, Bitcoin needs to reach a price of approximately $550,000. I don't personally believe we will see that this bull run. Anything's possible. I think that we'll see that next bull run and far, far beyond that next bull run. But rest assured, I do believe that the Bitcoin price will surpass gold in terms of total market cap. I feel it's only an inevitability, and we will see that within the decade, within 10 years of today, we will see Bitcoin surpassing gold's market cap. And here's a site created by the CEO of MicroStrategy, Michael Saylor, and I'm just going to hover in on one of these metrics. They're color coded by performance compared with Bitcoin, and red means it has underperformed compared to Bitcoin. Notice the C of red here. Orange means it has underperformed fairly badly, yellow a little badly, and then green, it actually outperformed Bitcoin. If you see green anywhere, which actually right now there is not a single asset on this chart that outperforms Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a superior investment and has been for the past 12 months. So this color coding is showing the past 12 months. But let's just zoom in on gold here. This is one of those common comparisons to Bitcoin, and take a look at how it has been performing in relation to Bitcoin. So over the past 12 months, gold has underperformed in comparison to Bitcoin by 83%. In the past 1 month, gold has underperformed Bitcoin by 29%. In the past 3 months, gold has underperformed Bitcoin by 66%. In the past 5 years, so this is the largest time span on this site, in the past 5 years, gold has underperformed Bitcoin by 99%. So on any time span up till 5 years, probably beyond, Bitcoin has outperformed gold on every time span. So do not let any gold bug tell you that gold is a better investment than Bitcoin, because historically speaking, with these metrics, that is simply not the case. I don't care what their argument is. They are basing it on probably emotions and probably bag holdings. In Peter Schiff's case, it's corporate interest. His interest is in his business, which deals primarily in gold. These are biases. These are not based on metrics and they're not based on statistics. The metrics are showing us that gold is inferior to Bitcoin as a store of value, as an appreciating asset class, as something you would want to put your money in. I would put my money in Bitcoin over gold any day of the year. And so let's move on to the next site here. We have crypto fees. This is an interesting one. It shows the daily fees and the 7-day average fees for all these different platforms. And we'll start at the top here. We have Ethereum. So in the past 1 day, we have almost $20 million worth of fees on the Ethereum network. And for Bitcoin, in the past 1 day, we have $4.7 million. So Ethereum is doing about 4 times the fees as Bitcoin per day. That's a good thing and a bad thing. That means high costs for transactions, but that means the network is being utilized and people are willing to pay it. And so I'd say that Ethereum is the winner and loser of the high daily fee award. And it's interesting, if you look over at the 7-day fees, the 7-day average fees, Bitcoin is about 5.1 million and Ethereum is 16 million. So it shows that actually Ethereum is climbing, because in the past day we have about 20 million over the average. And for Bitcoin, it's actually shrinking a little bit. We have 4.7 under the 7-day average of 5.1 million. So Bitcoin's fees are stagnated or dropping even slightly, while Ethereum's are actually climbing a fair amount here. And while we're talking about Ethereum, it's probably good to note how much Ethereum is locked up in Ethereum 2.0. If you recall, Ethereum 2.0 launched its phase 0 blockchain, its beacon blockchain. And you can't do a whole lot right now, but you can stake your Ethereum and make a passive return on the Ethereum 2.0 blockchain. Well, currently there's 3.4 million ETH staked and counting and increasing every day in the Ethereum 2.0 blockchain. And the way I look at this is it's either a great investment opportunity if you want to invest your Ethereum in the Ethereum 2.0 blockchain and make a passive reward. I actually view it as a better opportunity to keep my Ethereum in the Ethereum 1.0 blockchain until we have enough phases complete to make it worthwhile my transition and to benefit from the reduced supply for Ethereum. There's actually a couple things coming down the pipeline for Ethereum, which makes me super, super bullish for Ethereum. Of any cryptocurrency right now in crypto land, I am most bullish on Ethereum. And it's because it's a smart contract platform. It's got the biggest developer network effects. It's got the biggest user base. It does have the highest fees, but we do have solutions coming to fix that. And like I said, that means that it is being used. But we do have 2 things coming down the pipeline that are going to tremendously benefit Ethereum. And one of those is EIP, Ethereum Improvement Proposal 1559, which actually burns part of the fees with every transaction. And I think that is going to be huge. That is going to shift Ethereum from an inflationary asset possibly to be a deflationary asset. And when you combine that with the fact that people are also locking up their Ethereum 1.0 tokens on the Ethereum 2.0 chain, that is further reducing the supply. So we have actually a double-edged sword reducing the supply. And in a couple months, when Ethereum Improvement Proposal 1559 gets put in place, we're going to see, I think, probably a delay, but a massive, massive increase in Ethereum token price due to all the supply reduction, the shock downward of supply for Ethereum. And I think that's going to be incredibly bullish for the Ethereum price. So we have burning of fees and we have lockup of ETH tokens on Ethereum 2.0. So the supply is just getting cut and cut and cut and cut. So if you meet any Bitcoin maximalists who tell you that Ethereum has a higher inflation than Bitcoin, well, it's not true, or it's not true for long, because we're going to have a deflationary asset here. And that's something that is not the case with Bitcoin. So if I have to pick one cryptocurrency right now to be holding, for me, it's Ethereum. Now let's talk about those high fees a bit. Here's Etherscan and the Ethereum gas tracker. And you can see that for a low price to a high price, depending on how urgent and how quickly you want to get your transaction confirmed, you could be paying anywhere from $4.25 to $6 right now, just for a basic transaction. Now that's not a more complex smart contract function, which can incorporate many, many transactions within the same transaction. And so you can easily get this to be 10x what it is right here. But if you wanted to send funds from A to B, you can pay between $4 and $6 currently to make that happen. Now, that's still a lot cheaper than Bitcoin. If you look at Bitcoin right now, the average fee is about $8 to $13. If you want to get it confirmed in the next block, it's going to cost you about $13. If you're a little more patient, you can pay about $8 or less if you want to wait for many, many hours. And let's look at this other site here. This is another one, gasnow.org. Again, it shows a similar thing. We have a rapid confirmation for about $5. We have a standard confirmation, about 3 minutes, for $4. Note that these are all much faster than Bitcoin. And we have a slow confirmation if you want to save a little money, save 50 cents or a buck, and greater than 10-minute confirmation time, but you'll pay $3.84 just at this moment. This thing updates every minute. And you can see it just changed right there. It went from $5 something to $4.45 for the rapid confirmation. So actually, as far as individual value transfer is concerned and transactions is concerned, Ethereum is still cheaper than Bitcoin. There, just updated again, $5.30 for a rapid confirmation. Because for a single transactional confirmation for Bitcoin, again, we're talking $8 to $13. Let's refresh the page. Let's see what it's at now. $7 to $13. So Ethereum is cheaper. And that's very interesting because if you look at that first chart that we saw, Ethereum has 4 times the amount of daily fees. And if it's starting to click in your head, you'll realize that that means that Ethereum is doing far more transactions per block, per minute, whatever you want to calculate. Ethereum's doing far more transactional throughput than Bitcoin, period, because Ethereum fees are less than Bitcoin per transaction. So if it has 4 times the total daily transactional fee volume than Bitcoin, that means it must be doing a lot more transactions. And that is the case. Right here on your screen, we are seeing the Bitcoin and Ethereum transactions historical chart. And the orange line's Ethereum, the blue line is Bitcoin. Bitcoin has flatlined as far as how many transactions it's able to do, and that's due to its capped block size. Ethereum, on the other hand, has grossly surpassed the number of transactions that it is doing compared to Bitcoin. And so you can see that right now we have on the far right side of the screen, we have Ethereum doing 1.1 million transactions compared with Bitcoin doing 330,000 transactions per day. So 330,000 per day for Bitcoin, 1.1 million transactions per day for Ethereum. And when the Ethereum Improvement Proposal 1559 rolls around, we're going to have increased block sizes for Ethereum. Fees are going to go down. We're going to burn fees. It's just so freaking bullish for Ethereum. With the advent of NFTs and DeFi exploding on Ethereum, I think that it's going to make very good use of the increased block sizes, and we're going to see transactional throughput on Ethereum climb even higher, rocketing upward, and that is why I am super bullish for Ethereum. It might take us another 6 months before we hit those insane highs, but I do see it coming this bull run, so I'm holding on to my ETH gladly. Now this chart's interesting. Let's switch over and show you Bitcoin compared to Bitcoin Cash. And so again, we have the blue line represents Bitcoin, and this is a lifetime chart, and orange represents Bitcoin Cash. Let's zoom in into the more recent history so we can see this a little better. In fact, let's zoom in since October 2019. So this is the past 5 or 6 months or so. And you can see that currently and for the past month, Bitcoin Cash transactions exceed the daily volume of transactions that the Bitcoin network is doing. So right now, as of today, Bitcoin Cash is doing 348,000 transactions per day, and Bitcoin is doing 284,000 transactions per day. Bitcoin Cash is another example of a blockchain that can scale, and Bitcoin currently cannot, and it doesn't have any widely adopted scaling layer 2 solutions. Bitcoin Cash was designed so that it can scale on-chain. Bitcoin was designed so that it cannot. And we are seeing things like Ethereum and Bitcoin Cash that have greater transactional capacities starting to be adopted. And I think this is something to pay attention to. I think the developers on Bitcoin made a horrendous mistake by not even increasing the block size a meager amount every so often. They've hard capped it, and I think that's going to be the detriment of Bitcoin as far as what it could reach. I think that we could see a much higher Bitcoin price if the developers actually allowed Bitcoin to scale on chain. Even just in alignment with technology. Heck, even just slightly underperforming the modern technology, but instead they've just hard capped it and it's not increasing at all. And so I think that things like Bitcoin Cash and Ethereum, this bull run, are going to continue to soak up the transactional throughput from Bitcoin pushed off due to its stagnated and congested blocks. I think that even things like Cardano, basically any of the top 10 coins that have high throughput and low fees, are going to absorb that pushed off transactional volume from Bitcoin. Now, just to give you something to compare with, we're going to throw Litecoin on the screen here. This is the number of transactions that Litecoin does per day in comparison. And we'll zoom in here more recently, and we'll see that the orange line down here, the lowest one, is Litecoin. It had a little bump up. The yellow line is Bitcoin Cash, and the blue line again is Bitcoin. And then let's compare it with Ethereum, the king currently of transactional throughput. And we'll zoom in here. And again, you can see that Ethereum just blows everything out of the freaking water. Ethereum is doing like 4 times as many transactions as Bitcoin Cash, as Bitcoin. It's doing about 10 or 20 times as many transactions as Litecoin. It's just the dominant force right now in the entire crypto space. And lastly, I just want to touch upon one of my favorite coins. This is DefiBox. I bought a bunch of this a while ago. DefiBox is a Uniswap equivalent platform on the EOS blockchain. And it allows swapping. It has liquidity pools. You can provide your tokens as liquidity and earn a passive income. You can mine the Box token. You can mine the EOS token. It has a Box DAO, a decentralized autonomous organization, which is a decentralized governance system that votes into changes. DefiBox reduced its token supply from 100 million down to 5 million just a couple months ago. And I feel like that particular factor right there is one of the many bullish reasons why we just saw the price of DefiBox skyrocket upward by quite a lot. And you can see that here's the chart of the past 1 month. And so it went from about 1.3 EOS per box all the way up to 3.5 EOS per box. That's a 3x increase. And so again, being a Uniswap equivalent on EOS, and like I said, probably the most promising platform for DeFi on the EOS blockchain with a very, very limited token supply of just 5 million tokens, I think that that is why we are seeing this shoot upward. There's a lot of different swapping taking place right now on this platform. You can see all the different liquidity pairs here. It's just like Uniswap, but it's for the EOS blockchain. Okay, guys, that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, smash, destroy, obliterate that like button. Please subscribe. Please hit that bell icon so you're notified of future videos. And I really do request, if you do nothing else, please just drop me a comment and like the video. That's the way that the YouTube algorithm will decide to show my videos to a wider audience outside of my existing subscriber base. And with that being said, have a fantastic day.